Today on Let's Fish TV, we are at Martin Creek Reservoir, located just out of Tatum, Texas. Guys, this lake is loaded with grass and big bass. Never been here before. I just spotted it on the map this morning, but I have a good feeling about today. The fishing is heating up. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got him.
Not of the day. There you go. Another redfish. Got him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys. Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we're at Martin Creek Reservoir. Martin Creek Reservoir is located just outside of Tatum, Texas, and is in close driving distance to Brandy Branch, Lake of the Pines, among lots of other great lakes. But today we're gonna hit a lake that I've never been on, I've never gotten information on, and quite frankly, up until this morning, I didn't even know existed. So we're gonna go out there and we're gonna see what it's all about. From a first look at it, it has a lot of hydrilla, lily pads. I'm assuming it has some deep structure, and even based off the watercolor, it looks like it might have turned over recently. This power plant lake, I hope, is a really, really good lake. I have a good feeling about it, no matter what. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. Meantime, I'm gonna get the boat launched, get everything set up, and we'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hi there, these Salooner tables are predicting good game fish activity both days. Peak daytime game fish activity begins around 1:16 Saturday and 2:09 Sunday afternoon. Evening activity will begin after midnight around 12:51 on Saturday and 1:44 on Sunday night. Depending on your location, expect the sun to rise around 7:36 and set around 6:50, and evenings will feature a moon that is 94% visible. Keep up with our latest fishing adventures, tips, and tricks from Let's Fish TV by joining us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Today we're headed out on Martin Creek Reservoir. I actually was looking at my map this morning, headed to Brandy Branch, and I saw this particular little lake on the map. I never even knew this lake existed. But you know what? Sometimes the most spontaneous plans turn out to be the best ones. And today we're gonna head out and we're fishing a power plant lake, so the water temp's gonna be hot. But one thing about it, even on power plant lakes, you know, the water gets really hot, but these fish are used to really hot water, so they should bite today. I have a good feeling about it. And I mean, there's fish blowing up around us right now. There's grass, there's pads. This place looks pretty cool. I have a good feeling we're gonna catch some big ones today. Well, you'll see here in just a second. One. Oh, that's a good one there. On the old hybrid hunter. There we go. Golly, man, he knocked the fire out of it. When you mix hydrilla in Texas, you're gonna get a hybrid hunter bite for sure. There we go. That ain't a bad one. Not bad at all. Heck yeah. Well guys, today we're up here in the middle of the dog days of summer, and we're going after these fish right here, largemouth bass, using one of my favorite baits, and it's a Strike King hybrid hunter. You know, the whole misconception is you have to go out deep, you have to go chase fish like that, but I'm here to tell you, and I'm here to show you today, that hybrid hunter will catch you just as many. Let's get this fish back and we'll talk a little bit more about where we're at and what we're doing. You know, anytime you're in really shallow water, especially in lakes like in Texas, and today we're at Martin Creek Reservoir. It's a really tiny lake in East Texas, but it's one I've never even been to. But as soon as I launched my boat, I saw the vast amount of lily pads and looked at my depth finder and I saw hydrilla, and I knew immediately that it was gonna be a good day. And we started out the day, we didn't even get here until about noon, just started throwing a hybrid hunter around, and immediately caught a bass. And that's the big key, is to figure out a bait that you can lock in your hands on a body of water that you've never been to before, and you can consistently get bit. Like I said, I've never been to Martin Creek. It looks really cool. It has a lot of vegetation. And I have a feeling that we're gonna be able to break it down for you today, and hopefully if you get a chance to visit it, you'll be able to catch fish as soon as you get here. So let's get back to it. We're gonna see if we can catch a few more before the end of the day. I got a good feeling about it, and the fish are biting.
Hey y'all, it's time for your Carolinas Report. This week brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. It's fall. Come down and enjoy all the incredible things here along the Grand Strand that we have to offer. You want to do a private charter boat? We got all kinds to choose from. You want to do a boat yourself? Come down, visit crazysistermarina.com for more information. I tell you what, for all of us here along the coast that love to get out and chase those redfish up on the flats, you know, you'll start to see those redfish get back into that fall and winter pattern. But it's a great time. You can find some incredible redfish action. Get out with an artificial. I suggest a white grub. If you're a fly fisherman, you know exactly what to use. But it's a great time to get out and enjoy the things that are going along the coast. And I'll tell you what, I continue to talk about the king mackerel, but it's because it's that time of the year. That bite along the beach is incredible, from North Carolina down into South Carolina and reaching out into Georgia here soon. You're going to see those big mercury missiles right along the beach. The next couple weeks we'll start to see those mullet pulled away from the beach. Those big schools that they've been on, and the big kings are going to start to move offshore a little bit on those live bottoms. But for now, get out with some big live baits, chase them on the beach. You're going to have some good action. This has been your Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Oh, big one. Like really big one. I hope that's a bass. I thought I was hung for a second. I mean big, big one. That might be a big catfish. I mean, oh no, he's coming up. No. Whew. Oh my gosh. Did y'all see the size of that fish? They're all big. Martin Creek, I didn't know you had them like this. Oh my gosh. No, you stay down, baby. Stay down. I might have to come to the back on this one. Oh, wow. Whew. Look at the size of that one. Holy crap. Wow. I mean biggin'. Martin Creek chunk right there on a 6XD hard knock. People don't talk about this thing, but it's a sleeper deep diving crankbait. It has a single knock, like the Sexy Dog hard knock, and it has become my #1 deep diving crankbait in that situation. But God, guys, check that fish out right there. I mean a monster bass. Let's get this fish back. Guys, I'm gonna go and tell you, I've been wanting to do a 6XD show for quite some time, and I'm not saying that the remainder of the show is gonna be a 6XD show because I have no idea, but that was a big one. Throwing that 6XD hard knock just easily become one of my favorites. I'm not sure how the rest of the day is gonna go, but I have a good feeling about it. We're starting to dial things in. We started up shallow, throwing that hybrid hunter, caught a couple up there doing that, and I saw this, like, I don't know what it was. It was like some kind of jug sticking out there, and I was like, you know what? Let's go look at it with side imaging on our Lowrance HDS Pro and see if there's a brush pile on it. And when I went over it, I saw some cracks in a roadbed right here. Once again, guys, I've never seen this lake. I hadn't talked to anybody that's fished this lake, and I was like, you know what? Let's see if they'll eat a 6XD. I tied on my 6XD. Second cast, that one. So I don't know. Maybe we'll catch them every cast right here. I have no idea, but there's a lot of fish here. I can't wait to see what else it has.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Strike King, Tie One On, and by Glacier Outdoors since 1982.
What do I have here? Oh my gosh, a big bass. Wow. Oh, there's one. Oh my gosh. What do I have here? Oh my gosh, a big bass. Wow. Funny story, guys. I was sitting there trying to find some crappie on this bridge, just throwing crappie jigs down there on these fish, and they just weren't really paying attention, they were all big ones. And it's because they're all big bass. Golly. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I never even knew Martin Creek existed until this morning. And I'm gonna explain to you why when I get this big bass in. Holy cow. Look at the size of that joker there. Oh, come here, come here, come here. There we go, got her. Wow, look at that. Baby Z2 to the face. Another big one. Not as big as that first one, but a sure enough good one. Golly. Guys, let's get this fish back. We get to Brandy Branch this morning, and I don't know if you've seen that episode yet. I don't know even what order they're gonna air in, but we finished the show in about 2.5 hours when it was all said and done. We caught that many good bass. We had that much success. And I told my cameraman, I was like, hey, when I was looking up the boat ramp for Brandy Branch, I saw this little lake called Martin Creek Lake. And I've never been there. I said, I don't know what you can catch there, how you can catch them. I don't even know if it has bass in it. I really have no clue what to expect here. And we left the boat ramp, got here about noon, and guys, we've caught big ones. Like, I never expected to do that. Caught one real big one cranking, caught a good one on a hybrid hunter, and now caught a good one throwing a minnow around bridge pilings. I'm not gonna lie, this lake's pretty good. I'm excited to get back to these bridge pilings because I've seen a lot of really big fish, and I hope they're all big bass. I really have no expectation. But we got a train getting ready to come, so I'm gonna get back to it and see if we can catch us another one.
Hey y'all, this is my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment's brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Garmison with Ugly Fishing. You can check out my availability and book right there online at uglyfishing.com. We've got some bull reds along the Gulf beaches, and the speckled trout bite is improving just about every day. Our water temperatures are down into the lower 80s, into the upper 70s. Things are about to start firing off. Over in Mississippi, speckled trout bite is about to be wide open in the Biloxi Marsh. He said the white shrimp are showing up. He said the more the white shrimp show up, the more the trout are going to show up and feed heavy. And also along the Mississippi coast is fishing for the jacks and the bull reds along the Gulf beaches. Savannah, Georgia, he said that the speckled trout and the flounder bite are maintaining. He anticipates both of those getting a little bit better once the water temperature gets into the 70s. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to this week's segment. Keep in mind what the guys from Speckled Truth saying, that's keep what you need and leave the rest.
There's one. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, stay down, baby. Oh yeah, another hybrid hunter fish. God, this lake, you go out there deep and catch a big one on a 6XD, go throw a minnow around and catch another big one, and then come back up here and catch some decent ones throwing a hybrid hunter. There we go. God, it just came off just like that. Not a big one, but you know the cool thing about this lake is you can go deep, you can go shallow, but it's not even just this lake, guys, and that's what I really wanted to showcase today on this particular body of water. Martin Creek Reservoir is like most lakes throughout the South this time of year, is you never have a distinctive plan of how you're gonna go catch them. Now, in your mind, you're like, man, I'm gonna go throw this all day and I'm gonna catch them. But at the end of the day, as you can tell, I've got 20 some odd rods on the deck and I'm using almost every single one of them because this time of year is all about junk fishing. It's all about fishing the conditions, figuring out ways to go catch bass all the time, because at any given point you could pull up, let's say for instance throw a hybrid hunter and catch one doing this, you go fish a brush pile with a drop shot, catch one doing that, fishing a minnow around bridge pilings, deep cranking a roadbed. I mean, the possibilities are endless this time of year, and that's actually why it's one of my favorite times of year to fish. The fact is you can pick up a lot of different baits and have a lot of success doing a bunch of different things. You know, it's hard for me not to pick up a hybrid hunter and throw it. Just a bait that I've had a lot of success with, and it's one that I have a lot of confidence in. But if I could give you any advice, when you go to a body of water that you're not familiar with, pick up the baits that you're very, very confident in and then expand. Keep trying new things. Don't ever stop trying new baits, new techniques, and new areas, because at any given point you could roll up and find a really good pattern or a really good bait for that day. But the one thing about this time of year is every day is a little different. So you always have to be ready to change it up to try to catch more bass. We're gonna get back to it. Let's see if we can catch a couple more before the end of the day. The bite's just heating up, but so is the temperature. So I'm gonna get back and we'll see what we can do. Real fast, I wanna talk to you about my battery setup. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I think I finally did it. I think I finally figured out the perfect configuration for my trolling motor setup. For you guys that don't know me, I am a guy that I like to put my trolling motor down, I like to turn it on high, and I like to cover a lot of water, and I mean a lot of water. Traditional batteries that I've used in the past, they'd go dead in about 8 to 10 hours. What I did this year is I actually used 2 RB36V40s. These are Rely-On batteries. They're 36 volts a piece. Run them in parallel and use them as my trolling motor batteries. No longer do I have trolling motor failure or batteries go down by the end of the day. Guys, I've used this battery for a year now. I can't tell you how many times I've fished from daylight to dark, running my trolling motor high and covering a ton of water and not had power failure. I can't say that about any other batteries I've used. I rely on them in my career. I rely on them in my tournaments and rely on them in my TV show. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't the best battery I've ever used. I hope you go check them out at RelyOnBattery.com.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion.
You'll see me occasionally dragging my rod, and what that does is it allows me to feel the bottom and feel that bait bouncing up and down. Here he comes. There we go. White bass? I'm like going over all kinds of rock and everything. Oh, there's one. A little one. You know, that's one of the big keys whenever you're out here cranking and stuff. It's all about when you find that particular cover. Today it's a road bed and it's got a lot of rock and you know, stuff on the bottom. I like to use my rod a lot whenever I'm doing that. So what I mean by that is you'll see me occasionally dragging my rod, and what that does is it allows me to feel the bottom and feel that bait bouncing up and down across the bottom, and it also makes me slow the crankbait down. And at least whenever I grew up fishing, the most important thing was to slow that crankbait down around cover. You could speed reel it around open water, but as soon as you got around that rock, that brush, those stumps, you really wanted to slow the bait way, way down. And I would do it all without reeling, but just catching up the slack just like that and just dragging it through that. And 9 times out of 10, that's when you would get your bites, is when you're actually dragging the crankbait instead of reeling the crankbait. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand, or they tend to not try because they see everybody just casting and reeling the crankbait, and that's just not the case. Sometimes you gotta really slow it down with your rod. Oh, that might be bass. Oh, got him. Oh yeah, there we go. I thought that was a bass. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Not a bad way to end the day, right there. There we go. There we go, guys. Check that out. Got that baby Z2 to the face. You know, I'm gonna tell you guys, today has been one of those hot, hot days. And I just want to clarify once more. We started the day, the first half of the day on Brandy Branch, which is about 20 minutes away from here. We fished till around noon, and we've only been here from noon to about 4 o'clock, and we've caught about 7 or 8, but we caught one almost 7. This place, had we been here earlier this morning, I really feel like we'd have caught even more and bigger fish. But guys, it is hot. And one thing about this place is it's a power plant lake, so it's even hotter than what you would expect. So we're gonna go put it on the trailer. We're gonna take you back there. We're gonna talk to you about the baits that we utilized today. Might even talk about a couple other baits that you could use in the right conditions at the right time of day on this particular body of water. From noon to about 3 or 4 today, fishing was pretty hot. We caught some big ones. It was kind of in between, like you'd pick up a bait, you'd catch a big one, you'd have to put that bait down, you'd have to pick up another bait, you'd catch another one, and so on and so forth. So overall, a really great day. I mean, honestly, I will come back to this lake. This is a pretty cool lake. I hope you learned a little bit about it. I hope you can find them here if you ever decide to come. So we'll see y'all here at the boat ramp here in just a minute. We'll be talking about how we catch them at Martin Creek.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Powerful Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits. Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Today on Martin Creek Reservoir, I threw the kitchen sink at them. You know, one particular bait that I started with, as soon as I realized it had a lot of hydrilla, was the Strike King Hybrid Hunter. I throw the full-size Hybrid Hunter almost exclusively. It just catches bigger than average fish. 17-pound Strike King fluorocarbon. This is the tour grade fluorocarbon. It is very crucial that you throw that 17-pound. It keeps that bait up, but also allows you to make really long casts. A 7.6 swim bait rod, Team Lou Signature Series swim bait rod, and a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio reel. Then I pulled out one of my favorite baits, and that is the Strike King 6XD. This is the hard knock version, so it has that single knock. To me, it really gets the attention of bigger than average fish. 15-pound Strike King fluorocarbon and an 8XD rod. You know, this rod series is super unique. It is actually made for the particular XD line of crankbaits through Strike King. I personally like the 8XD rod better for the 6XD. It gets me a little bit stiffer rod and gives me a little bit longer cast, and I think that's super important. The Tournament Pro was a reel that I chose, and a 6.8 to 1 gear ratio. And then, as it has been as of late, and a mainstay on most people who use an active target 2 is a minnow style bait. And I was using a baby Z2 to nobody's surprise, an 1/8 ounce jig head to complete it. Anytime I'm using active target 2, I've got a baby Z2 and probably a regular size Z2 rigged up. 10-pound braid to a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. And this is actually a 7.4 Mark Zona spinning rod. This is an open water series rod that you can fish, you know, big smallmouth up north. But what I've learned is it really works well for catching big bass in Texas. But guys, what an awesome lake. I honestly had no expectation coming out here. I had no information, just went fishing. And sometimes that's the best medicine for a rough day. So guys, I hope y'all learned a little bit about Martin Creek Reservoir, and hopefully you'll be able to take it to your neck of the woods and be able to catch them. Until next time, I'll see you on the water.